My voice is a little scratchy in this one. I'm not gonna sound like the pristine porcelain doll that I normally do.
What happened?
I think it's because I went out last night to a function and talked for literally like unironically like 2 hours straight of just me speaking.
That's why you're so good at podcasting.
Yeah, perhaps I should have saved all that podcasting energy for actually podcasting instead of just talking at the function last night.
No matter.
I don't think I sound that bad. Like, you can hear it
You
when I
sound
laugh.
pretty normal.
Yeah, there's a little wheeze, but it's okay. You know what? I'm
you have
soldiering through
that
it.
sexy rasp.
I'm so tough. Yeah, I have that sexy rasp where I sound like Gwen from Total Drama Island.
Yeah.
That bitches go crazy for.
The little vocal fry.
Yeah. I'm going to tell a story, but before that, welcome to episode 4 of Braint Frot.
What's a story? Was I supposed to say something?
No, I mean, I thought that you might say, like, hi, my name's Lex.
Oh, my name is Lex.
Oh, my name's Lavender.
We never introduce our names, do we?
Yeah, we've done it. We did it in the first two, and then we didn't in the third one. And then someone texted me and asked me a question after they listened to episode 3 as if I was you.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I can't really speak to that because it's Lex. And they were like, I don't really know which person is which on this podcast. Anywho, the story I was going to tell you, based on the little, like, sexy raspiness, is that right when I moved to LA, I lost my voice. You'll remember. That was a couple months ago. And I went to a show at a venue. It was like a masked show, so I wore my mask when I was inside anytime. And I met a couple people, and I talked to a couple people, and I had a supremely raspy voice the entire time. And like people like, oh, like your voice is so interesting. And I'm like, thanks. It's not. I mean, I didn't say it's not my voice because I was like riding the raspy voice clout high for a little bit. I saw someone at Lesbian Goth Night that I had seen at that function. And they came up to me and they said hello to me. And the first time I opened my mouth and talked, I can't say for certain that the confusion came over them, but there were signs. They were like, that's not what I remember you sounding like.
Maybe they were like, congratulations on your surgery.
I had the fry removed from my vocal cords.
If you want to be a Valley girl, you have to put the fry back in.
Fuck. I shouldn't have gotten it taken out in the first place. Doctor, reverse this.
Scratch that. Reverse it.
There's something I kind of want to talk about that kind of came up last night when I was out and about at a like a doll's function, and that's what we in my polycule used to call the small trans world.
Mm-hmm.
That being that originally the way it was intended was that, like, when you're in a physical trans community, they're so tight-knit and they can be so insular and they're often so small that everyone knows everyone. Nobody is more than 1 or 2 steps removed from someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it would come up in our polycule a lot because, like, someone would start talking to a new girl on Grindr and they'd be like, hey, check this girl out, she's really cool. And, like, at least 2 of the 3 of the rest of us would have a story like, yeah, we hooked up like a year ago, or like, yeah, we've like been Instagram mutuals forever and flirt constantly. It's like that was kind of the nature of being in an all doll polycule in a community. Like, we had that physical encounter quite a bit, which was like shorthanded to this is the small trans world. I don't know if it's that way with T-boys.
I think it could be, but I haven't actually. I was supposed to go to like a trans guy printmaking event tonight, but then like I didn't want to because my friend didn't want to. So now I'm recording the podcast instead. But I feel like I would have been introduced to like a trans guy community. I mean, I feel like it's kind of that with non-binary people when you go to like Subculture or like a hyperpop event. That's kind of what it's like.
Yeah. Like you see, they're recurring non-binary characters.
Yeah, the they them convention. I see a lot of them. 100 gex. You'll see many of the same people. Actually, that's kind of a doll overlap. The 100 gex shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see that also, like, my friend who was a lesbian in Atlanta said she knew all the lesbians in the city. I'm sure it's similar for, like, I feel like lesbians, horny lesbians all know each other because they've all fucked each other. Probably the same with, like, gay men. If you're horny, you'll find the rest of your people.
So why haven't you found your people yet?
I've certainly found non-binary people through being horny. I guess
the horny is the conduit that you're taking to meet people. No, I guess that's
what
real.
other reason is there to meet people?
I can't imagine. The reason it came up last night was that there's a digital element to it that hadn't been there before in communities past that predates social media, I suppose. But now the small trans world is truly a small trans world. It is global. You can kind of perceive that any doll with any kind of social media presence whatsoever is maximum 2 steps removed from any other doll.
Yeah, like, I was telling you about a girl I know in New York, and my instinct was to see if you know anyone who follows her.
And I totally did. Like, as soon as I pulled it up, we have, like, 7 mutuals.
I would argue that online is probably the first frontier for meeting people, especially, I feel like trans girls meeting other trans girls are more so online than in the outside world.
That's because a lot of trans girls don't go to the outside world.
Yeah.
They only exist online.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, I hear you talk about girls who you seem to know very well but will never see in person even though they live in this city because they don't go outside.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because you talk to somebody a lot, especially, I guess it's different for people who live in LA, that it's like, I'm getting to know them better because I'm anticipating seeing them at some point, and then you just realize sometimes that bitches don't really be leaving the house, and then it's like you've invited them to 15 functions and they found a reason not to go to all of them, so it's like, okay, I'm over this. I think you can tell there's a filter for dolls that go outside and have friends and engage in community events and go to functions, and like anime, Discord, 4chan dolls who don't leave their house. So I tend not to spend too much time online engaging with people that I could never have a physical personal friendship with.
That makes sense. I mean, naturally, if you meet someone online, there's a good chance that that's their realm, they stay online. If you meet someone in person, feel like it's more likely that they'll be out and about.
I don't know about that either. I mean, I've met tons of people online that are just as out and about as I am. That's why I think that the people who actually go outside kind of tend to connect to each other, even if it's via online. Like, I am online, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I have a fucking meme page.
Well, everyone's online.
Everyone's online to some degree, but it's like, I mostly am not online. I'm way more not online than online.
That's crazy, because I see you texting all day.
I mean, I fucking work from home.
Yeah.
I'm in that sense, I guess I am online for work, and I be texting bitches, but, like, I'm gonna leave the house at some point and go out to a function and see some people.
Mm-hmm. I'm just more of an introvert, so I like staying in more because I get tired.
That's fair.
But that doesn't mean I'm online
I was
only.
I was working towards the point of saying that it dawned on me how small the trans world is when I moved to LA. Because I felt like, I had a reputation that preceded me because of my meme page and the few girls I knew in LA already, who already knew all the other new LA girls that I was meeting, and it sort of was like my reputation preceded me, which was unfortunate. I wish it hadn't. I wish that people only knew the coolest possible image of me, which I'm not sure is what I'm necessarily projecting online at all times, but they know that image now, so it's not important.
And instead it's, are you sissy allegations?
Are you sissy allegations? But I mean, the new people that I meet here, brand new people that I literally run into at a function, for example, last night by chance, 14 Instagram mutuals. Like, it's just how it is. Like, I can't tell you the last time I've encountered a doll in any capacity, in person or online, and no one I knew them. It just doesn't happen.
It's kind of a red flag, even if no one knows the person.
I'm like, why does no one know you? That's a little sick. That makes my tummy rumble. Why? Like, who are you? Are you a ghost?
I mean, not necessarily. It's a red flag, but it's kind of.
I think it's a red flag. If you were going outside, bitches would know you.
That's true. Maybe they're new to going outside. Be gentle.
I'm not harassing someone because we don't have any Instagram mutuals. I'm just saying, it would be extremely surprising to me to meet a trans woman in 2024 that I don't have any like connection to via other trans women, because it's a small world.
I know your point is that it is a small world, but I'm also kind of getting that it's very clout based.
The entire world is very clout based.
Oh, I guess.
Why do you say that though about this?
I feel like you can gauge how you will feel about someone depending on who knows them.
It's definitely helpful. I mean, I think that's why there's features like Instagram showing you mutuals. Like, these are the type of people that interact with this person you met. That definitely speaks volumes to me about, what someone might be like when I first meeting them. Obviously, the impression that they're making in my physical presence is the most important thing, but I think looking at someone's mutuals and seeing which of your followers also follow them is a helpful tool.
I would agree. I just feel like I just don't be making friends like you do, so I feel like these social metrics I don't think about as much as you do.
That's probably a more common and more realistic take. I mean, I'm aware of the fact that that's probably how most people think and perceive this, but I don't know. I just as someone who wants to meet every doll on this goddamn planet of Earth, I find myself talking to strangers a lot, and these are the machinations that happen with trans people that don't happen with cis people. Like, if I'm talking to like a cis lesbian at the function, I'm not expecting her to know anyone I've ever met in my entire life. Like, truly and honestly, a genuine stranger to me.
Maybe if they're just part of I feel like with cis people, it's like if they're part of a specific community, like, oh, you're part of like kink stuff, or like you're a DJ or something.
Yeah, but even then it's like the cis DJs and the cis kink scene people outnumber the trans people, and more importantly, you can't comfortably assume that they all know each other, Like, I know a decent amount of people in this cis LA kink community now. And I by no means could make an assumption that by meeting someone new in the cis LA kink community, I would never go, do you know this person that I already know? Like, I would never make that assumption, that leap, because there's too many cis people out there and they're not as interconnected as we are. But if I'm at a doll in the kink community, there's a number of people I would be comfortable saying, you know, blank, right? And I'm assuming they would probably say yes, because it's just more tight knit like that.
Kind of like you guys are all in the same class at a college.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's like, that kind of becomes what it feels like.
I mean, being trans in that way, like, it's a cultural identifier. Naturally, you associate with other people of your cultural community. Like, I feel that a lot of Filipinos will be like, of course I know that person, they're Filipino.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like, it's like how every Filipino knows that Bruno Mars is Filipino and will tell you about it. That's kind of what I'm getting with trans girls.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like a ethnicity thing.
Yeah, and I mean, everything is cliquey. You know, that's subgroups. And you're right to like conjure that. I'm just to be even more specific is to say, because we're all so promiscuous, it's almost like any doll anywhere in the continental United States that you might run into, you fucked someone who's fucked someone who's fucked them. Period. I do not mean for these observations on my culture and community to be any kind of sweeping, authoritative statements. It's not a census. It's just what it's like being a tranny in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty cool that...
Oh, it's super cool.
Yeah, you can vouch, like, yeah, like, she has good pussy.
Yeah, literally, like, somebody can show up in my DMs who's from, like, Detroit, and I can reach out to a mutual, like, hey, do you know this person? I'm like, yeah, I kind of know them. My best friend used to hook up with them. I'm like, is the dick fire? They're like, that shit is extremely fire. I'm like,
yeah, they're like,
I'm going to reply to this DM. I'm going to flirt. I'm going to make a move.
It makes me think of this tweet that my friend sent me that was like, my friend is going on a farewell tour in Brooklyn before she has her 10-inch dick removed.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That's the type of thing
I read
do.
that and I was like, that's so Lav.
Yeah, if I was a top and I was getting fucking surgery, I would let all the girlies line up. There'd be a line outside our front door.
Outside this room. They'd have broken in.
We are in my bedroom, for the record. If getting gender affirming surgery, like, this would never happen because I love bottoming, but if getting gender affirming surgery somehow prevented me from bottoming going forward, like if that situation was just flipped somehow perfectly,
okay,
I would go on a bottom farewell tour because I would be copping flights to go on a bottom farewell tour, because I can tell you how many bitches would want to say goodbye to my pussy one more time.
I mean, kind of the opposite. If you got like a neo vagina, you would be having like a welcome tour.
Yeah, I could be having a welcome tour. That got me thinking about who I would let hit first if I got new pussy.
Like, are we talking like a friend or like a celebrity?
Oh,
like a person?
If I could be anyone?
I don't.
Timothy Chalamet. I was thinking like my friends.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were just gonna say a friend on the podcast.
I don't know. I mean, I would have to think about it. God knows there's so many fucking tops in my life. I think I know who it would be at the end of the day, like, push comes to shove. But,
will you say it publicly?
It would be my friend Gwen. Like, I don't think she would mind me saying that. I'll ask her before we post this, but I don't think there's any two ways about it.
I think your celebrity answer of Timothy Chalamet is really funny. I mean, that's probably just your generic celebrity answer, right?
That's my generic celebrity with a dick answer.
Like, who would hit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a cutie pie. He's a little twink. I love little twinks.
I like twinks, too.
So the real topic, I suppose, the main topic that we wanted to talk about today is circumcision.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's another little slice of cultural observation that I made as a doll living her life. As of right now, that conversation is in the zeitgeist, because people are talking about how cute and how sexy uncut girl dicks are. And they're right for that.
Yeah.
I already came out publicly on my meme account as circumcised, but I'll double down here. I'm hoodless. I'm a circumcised girly, and I made a post about it where I put whisper text over Jesus on the cross that said how it feels to be circumcised on trans Instagram in 2024.
Yeah.
Which was funny and got a bunch of girls talking about fucking circumcision in my comments and in my DMs. I also got some comments that I was really surprised about, of girls who were like really feeling upset, really feeling some type of way about being circumcised.
Yeah, because I mean, it's non-consensual.
It is non-consensual. I just want to say, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, girl dick is girl dick.
Girl dick is girl dick. Dicks are cute. My dick is cute.
Uh-huh.
So I don't care.
Yeah, you can have a cute dick, cut or uncut.
Agreed. Exactly. Like, to me, I'm less hung up on this than some of the people who came up raging in the comments of that post about the fact that they were circumcised. I'm like, who cares? Your dick's probably cute. Like,
yeah,
it's not that deep. And I know, like, I had some people, some hooded individuals pull up and talk about
hooded. You make it sound like they're the KKK.
That was not my intention, but that's really funny. No, I had them pull up talking about like sensitivity.
Yeah,
like there's this long held, vaguely pseudoscientific belief, although I think there's a little bit of legitimacy to it from like a neurological perspective, at least from the little bit that I know about it, that uncircumcised dicks feel more and more intensely than circumcised dicks. And I'm starting to think that might be a problem for cis men who aren't on hormones. Mm-hmm. Because I think if my dick got any more sensitive, it would be genuinely debilitating. Like, the last thing I would ever be worried about is that circumcision robbed a measure of sensitivity from my dick, because if it was even worse than this, I don't know what the fuck I would do.
I mean, isn't it supposed to be a good thing to, like, last longer? Like, if cis men were so worried about it, like, about being circumcised, shouldn't they be glad that, like, makes them less sensitive so that they can last longer than 2 minutes?
I don't know what the cis man consensus is on pro or anti-circumcision.
I mean, I think
at this point,
not speaking on behalf of the cis man community.
I mean, all cis men don't have a collective opinion.
But, like, I feel like it has already been a sort of zeitgeist movement to be pro uncircumcised, just because, you know, you're kind of... I mean, obviously, most people have not had a choice in their circumcision, so it's mostly up to...
Does anyone have a choice?
Maybe if you can get circumcised as an adult if you weren't as a child.
Really?
Yeah, it's just ouchies.
Yeah, ouchies.
Like, you could do that. You just probably wouldn't, because why would you?
Want to? Yeah.
But, like, in theory, you could, and I'm sure at least one person on Earth has been circumcised as an adult.
Okay, that's probably true.
I mean, it's a cultural choice usually, or it rather reflects the culture you're raised in, whether you're circumcised or not. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of, I guess, cis men were becoming aware to the fact that they were non-consensually circumcised, and, you know, many that I've heard are pro uncircumcision in that way of just being perhaps counter-revolutionary, or what do you call it? Like, I don't know, it's like circumcision, like counterculture.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's sort of like, weirdly, it sounds kind of contrarian, of like because it's only contrarian because we're Americans.
Yeah.
One of the only places in the world where circumcision vastly outnumbers uncircumcision.
Yeah, and really the real reason why is just because, like, I mean, obviously starting from like religion, but boiling down to like, I want my son's dick to look like everyone else's. I don't want him to be different because like his head looks different from other guys' dicks.
I'm going to say something that I don't have numbers to back up. I have slept with a lot of people with dicks in my life. Earlier in my life, predominantly cis men, and then more recently, predominantly trans women. And I will say that almost every cis man I ever hooked up with, almost every cis man in my entire life I ever hooked up with, was circumcised. So from that perspective, it seems like among cis men, it is nearly ubiquitous in America. Dolls is not so much the case.
I mean, I guess
I'm surprised by the disparity of probably half the dolls I've ever hooked up with in my life were uncircumcised.
I guess in your experience, but I was actually telling you that I feel like most of the women I've hooked up with have been circumcised.
That's a little bit surprising to me, I will say.
I would have to pull up the numbers, you know.
Maybe half is generous, but the point I was saying was, among American cis men and dolls, it seems like circumcision is more common among dolls, and I have no sweeping conclusion to make about those numbers. It's just something that I'm curious about. And I was going to say, I wonder if it informed circumcision take that the doll community has adopted recently, but you have now informed me that that same take came pretty recently as from cis people as well, in a cultural movement that somehow missed me entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard cis men, especially cis men who are uncircumcised, to have been very vocally pro anti-circumcision simply because they were uncircumcised. Like, I think we're experiencing like personal experience bias on both of our parts, because I feel like more men that I've hooked up with have been uncircumcised than women.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Again, I'm pulling up the numbers.
You're checking the spreadsheets and you're seeing the opposite experience. Wow, that's really interesting.
But like, I think if you are making the observation that more women seem to be uncircumcised, you're kind of suggesting a correlation between the two.
I'm not suggesting a correlation,
because there really is like,
I mean,
none.
If there was a correlation, like if we took data and there was a correlation, I am not suggesting that it's causal, nor do I want to be the centerpiece of a conspiracy theory about letting your sons not get circumcised, eventually making them trans. I want to say that does not start here. But that was just my observation conversationally. But for you to come out with the opposite perspective is surprising and interesting to me.
I mean, I'm still doing the math.
You're doing the math. Do you have a spreadsheet on your phone? Yeah, Alexa's looking at their phone right now, like scrolling through their phone. Do you have a spreadsheet on your phone of everyone you've ever hooked up with?
It's just a list.
Why?
I like knowing for my personal, like, my internal data. I'm not doing anything with this information. I just like knowing. I just like keeping track. I don't know.
Is it just a list of names, or is there like...
It's a list of names.
It's a list of names? There's
a list of names.
Like 4 stars, 3.5 stars?
It's only names. In chronological order.
Do you think that's normal?
No. I just don't... I kind of like... I don't want to forget, I guess. I even have the names of the guys I hooked up with at the sex party.
Really?
Yeah, I asked their names. Not specifically to put them in my list, but just because I was just kind of trying to break the ice.
No, I understand why you were breaking the ice. I'm fascinated by this idea that you have a list of everyone you've ever slept with in your phone.
Well, I only started it as I started hooking up with more and more people, and I realized that if I didn't write them down, like they would the memory would slip away from me. And
yeah, like
this is just a habit that I have of writing things down because I'm scared of forgetting. I know it's weird with this specific. No,
I mean it tracks with all of the like journaling and stuff that you do. I'm surprised. It sounds like something that I would have said about you as a joke to like make fun of you.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of inspired by not like inspired, but I saw this book at like a zine fair I went to where a gay man had actually printed a spreadsheet of every other gay man that he had hooked up with, their name, age, like roughly, where he met them, I think what they did.
Yeah.
And like, I was not inspired by it, but I found it fascinating.
Honestly, yeah, you say that. The reason I asked you if it was just a list of names is because you like that sort of data and that recollection, and you're like you can be quite a detail-oriented person when it comes to things like journaling and keeping track of stuff like that. I'm surprised that it isn't a full breakdown of everyone you've ever had sex. Like, I'm surprised there's not more detail here.
There's not more detail because I feel very crude if I were to include any extra details. And also, like, I kind of take a minimal approach to memory keeping where I don't include every detail of everything that's ever happened to me. I'll just write, like, brunch, I had eggs, and I went to this place with Lav, and I don't write, like, how I felt about it or anything, just because I expect that if I read that memory, the feelings and details will come to me in my mind. And I just want to remember at least that it happened. So that's my reasoning for why my list is just names.
Would you ever stop keeping track?
Maybe if I changed fundamentally as a person.
I mean, like, I don't think you're the type of person who's like susceptible to slut shaming.
Are you
I'm a bit talking about how long the list is?
I'm a bit self-conscious
about being slutty
as a person, so I could be slut shamed.
I would say, like,
but I'll tell you,
if it hit a certain number where you're like, that's too many people to have hooked up with, I am stopping. I'm done keeping track. Would that ever happen?
I think if I hit around 50 people, I might think like, that's a lot of people. I think I'm at least 20 right now.
Nice.
Thanks. I mean, obviously, body count doesn't really matter at all. But like,
I mean, I'm not suggesting that it matters. I just think it's so funny that you wrote it down.
But I kind of like knowing.
Am I the most recent person on the list?
No.
Slay.
Oh,
okay. I know who the most recent person on the list is. You're right. My bad.
I can tell you what number you are on the list if you...
I'm not the second most recent person on the list.
You're the third most recent.
Okay, because I was gonna say we didn't hook up until after that play party. So
you're forgetting someone.
No, I know the two people that are on the list after me because I was also there for both of them.
You're number 19.
Oh, I'm number 19. Yeah. I'm taking that to heart. I wish I could tell you the same metric, but it would be impossible. Too many.
Yeah, it's like when we go get tested and the survey asks you how many people you've slept with in the past year, and you're like, I'll just put down 5.
In the past year? Like, I genuinely couldn't tell you how many people I slept with in the past year.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. You don't have to.
No, like I'm owning it.
Yeah.
It's like, but like my polycule and other people's polycules I've gotten involved with, and like orgies and play parties, and it would literally be like dozens and dozens of people, and what am I gonna count one by one on my fingers? Like, I don't know. I don't know how many people I've slept with in the past year. You know how many people you've had sex with in your entire life.
I do.
That's crazy to me. That's insane to me. Like, just the thought that it gives me comfort that number for me, I'm incapable of being slut-shamed because I'm objectively slutty. And it doesn't bother me.
You're just like...
But seeing that volume would give me pause.
You're completely oblivious to how many it could be. Could you guess ballpark?
Oh my God.
In your whole entire life.
This is going to be sick. My guess?
I won't be shocked by the number you say.
200?
I was actually going to say like 200 in my mind. That was the number I was thinking.
I mean, I bet it's, within 20 to 25 of 200 plus or minus, somewhere in that range. Maybe.
That's awesome. I gotta pump those numbers up. These are rookie numbers.
I mean, it's not a competition.
Oh, I know.
I think a lot of people would be like disgusted and horrified by that.
A lot of people would be disgusted and horrified by 20.
It really puts things into perspective, I guess.
People are disgusted and horrified if you have more than 5 in your whole life.
People are fucking dumb. I've had sex with more than 5 people at one time on numerous occasions.
You're doing 5 in like 2 seconds. I think we lost the thread of...
the conversations we're stumbling into are way better than the ones that we started.
Like, I thought we were going to be like...
Script this.
Circumcised or uncircumcised?
I think that's a boring conversation.
It is pretty boring.
The day, you and I both
like, there's so many more... Girth?
Yeah, that's a good point. I was even going to argue that, like... I've had so many good experiences with both that it's not that important to me. Certainly, it would never make me handle any situation differently, whether or not someone was circumcised or uncircumcised. And you're right that there's like a dozen other physical characteristics that come into play. And beyond that, way more important than any physical characteristic is the abilities of the person themselves to use it and to adapt situationally and mentally to situations. Like, it's so much more than the physical characteristics of a penis.
I had a question prepared for this topic because I was trying to think about it in a trans lens.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you think that being circumcised or uncircumcised would contribute to like any sense of gender dysphoria or like dysphoria regarding like bottom dysphoria, basically.
That's a good question. I can't just off the top of my head, I can't think of any super compelling reason why it would change someone's perspective on dysphoria, because it's the dick you have. And it's the one you've always had. So whether or not it's circumcised, to me, probably doesn't impact how negative or positive your feelings are towards it, because it's the only thing you've ever experienced.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the discussion regarding like, oh, uncircumcised feels better, it's like more sensitive, is like,
you'll never, almost no one can speak to that.
You'll never know how much more sensitive it is if you don't have that.
Yeah. And I would never hear someone go, I'm so dysphoric of my uncircumcised dick.
Actually,
I wish I was circumcised.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it wouldn't really work
like,
that way.
I think they would say, I'm so dysphoric of my dick, whatever it is, circumcised or uncircumcised, I wish I had a pussy.
I feel like cis men have dysphoria about if they're circumcised or not.
That's probably true, actually.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I'm sure there are probably plenty of cis men who are heated. I mean, we watched that episode of How To with John Wilson.
Right, I was
There's
thinking...
literally that a dude at the end of the furniture cover episode who is, like, mad as fuck that he's circumcised. He's trying to rebuild his foreskin. Yeah, he's trying to stretch it back out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's awesome. Good for him. Can I take us for, like, a complete left turn that has nothing to do with what we've been talking about for the last, like, 10 to 15 minutes of this episode?
Yeah.
I'm speaking as a doll in a community where how big your dick is, it's not really that important. If anything, it's like the girls who do have big dicks and never shut up about having big dicks, everyone just kind of assumes they're not that good at using them. Mm-hmm. And, like, most of the sex we're having as trans femmes is bottom for bottom anyway, so it's just rubbing fucking wet body parts, soft wet body parts all over each other in a way that doesn't even resemble the kind of conventional sex where having a big dick is a flex or anything. Not to say that every doll with a big dick is bad at using it. There's some that are great at using it, but the people who don't shut the fuck up about it,
I mean, it's kind of like guys too.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's almost resembling guy culture, but like dolls don't give a shit how big your dick is. I have definitely heard trans mask tops really flexing hard.
And isn't it
their fucking T-dicks are huge.
Isn't it so funny because the thing is 1 to 2 inches big at most, but
it's a mental thing sometimes.
Like, I get it. I totally get it. But me and my other trans mask friend, you know, we'll follow like trans guys on like trans guy porn performers on Twitter who will be like using that pump on their T-dick, making it like freakish, like, but they'll be like, it's so big, but it's like, and they're like really holding it back, but it's still like 2 inches. But it is a mentality thing rather than how big it actually is.
Yeah, like if there's like a dominant trans mask person that is topping me and they're talking about how big their dick is, I think that's kind of hot. I think it's hotter than a doll talking about how big her dick is.
Yeah, it is pretty hot. I mean, I think it's hot if a girl is talking about how big her dick is.
I've just been in too many situations with trans femme tops who feel like all they need is to have a big dick and everything else will take care of itself. And then I've had so much more pleasurable and rewarding experiences, even being topped by girls with a lot smaller dicks because they're good at everything else. Like, I don't mean to say, I'm not making any sweeping judgments here, just to speak on my personal experience. Certainly relative to cis men, having a big dick is way less important to trans femmes. Mm-hmm. So that was my segue into bringing up the fact that a lot of the T-boys I know, a lot of the T-boys I've hooked up with, a lot of the T-boys I follow online like to flex how big their T-dicks are.
Yeah, I mean, mine's kind of big.
It is.
Exactly.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, and it is hot. Like, I know I can't penetrate somebody with it, but it's pretty hot to imagine that I can. And like, if I'm like not wearing the strap at the time, I do like to like be on top of someone, kind of somewhat role playing that I'm fucking them.
Yeah, absolutely.
With like, not literally my T-dick, but like, I don't know. I can simply imagine like a phantom.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you're certainly not the only person to like describe that sensation.
Really? I mean, other people feel that?
Yeah, and that is just to say that, like, you know, trans sex at large, in defiance of sex as purely for procreation, has a lot of those quirks to it, things that both mentally and physically feel so good and feel so right, even though they don't fill out the very rigid, very practical features of what sex is supposed to be and what pleasure providing is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I all
think
kinds of stuff like that.
It's like, this is like kind of just more, this is like horny, but I do think it's pretty hot to be like, when I feel like I'm like the guy or the man like having sex with a girl, then like, I don't know, it feels really hot to play that role. And it's kind of why I feel like if a trans guy is talking about how big his dick is, it's hotter than if any cis man or trans girl was talking about how big their dick is. Totally just because agree. Like, I don't know, when trans men do like toxic masculinity, it's like hot for some reason.
I'm glad that you said that, because
you didn't want to say it, but yeah.
I don't want to say it, but like I totally agree with you.
I don't know, like I think it's
in a
like
sexual connotation at least.
Yeah. I mean, not like
actual
like if
toxicity.
It was
I mean like
more like not actual abuse, but like
it's fuckboy shit.
Yeah, like we're reclaiming toxic masculinity.
Yeah, like masculine sex traits that can be kind of toxic, and fuckboy shit. It's hot when T-boys do it, I think.
It's just because of our T-boy swag.
It's because T-boy swag, if you could bottle it,
it's like we're condensed
to it. People would be hooked on that shit. T-boy swag would be more addictive than any drug, any substance.
It's because we're short kings, so it's concentrated.
That's a great theory.
I also, sorry, this is just another horny comment, but I do...
Might as well wrap it up, yeah. Keep the horny comments coming for like 5 minutes and we'll have ourselves a whole podcast.
I do like when I'm topping someone and I kind of use like my fingers in place of a dick is really cool.
Like you mean hypothetically, I wouldn't know anything about this, but like if you're like behind someone,
like if I were to be
you have your like hand and your fingers at like waist length and are like leaning into someone in a sort of phantom dick type way.
Yeah,
I mean, I can imagine at the bottom that would be really hot and really fun. Just speculating, though.
Yeah, I don't know why I had never, like, I'd never seen anyone really doing that, like, in trans porn or, like, talk about it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, trans porn is still... most of the time performance, even if it's made for trans
like
people.
I'm just so
like
used to seeing
doing the things that look good on camera.
Yeah, like I'm used to seeing strap.
Yeah,
but you can definitely top someone very effectively without strap.
Oh, certainly,
or without real dick.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of dolls out there who can't fucking get hard and they're still topping bitches. There are plenty of T-boys who, despite their big dicks, cannot physically top someone in that sense, and people are getting by. Bitches are getting topped on a regular basis. It's a testament to human ingenuity and to the human spirit. No matter what the obstacles, we will find a way to top.
In this economy, we do what we can.
Like it's the Great Depression.
There's a top shortage.
There's a top shortage. We make do.
Country girls make do.
Trans bottoms make do. This is a great episode of the podcast. I was going to say that it started slow, and I think it did start slow, but we rounded the corner.
Ramped up.
We hit a home run, and that last 30 minutes might be the best section of podcast we've recorded so far. The moment I realized that you had a list of everyone you've ever had sex with, it was just like, you know, the way the like pinball machine lights up.
We'll have to delete this.
No. What?
I know, I'm joking.
No, this is gold.
This is like
what we'll win some kind of award for.
This is like the no-fly list.
What do you mean by that?
'Cause imagine if they got the list. If my list.
Oh, yeah.
It has to stay under locks.
The list of everyone you've slept with is like the leaked no-fly list.
Yeah.
And so it would obviously be a big moment if it were to get out.
Yeah.
Everyone, all your big fans would be pouring through it. You know what it would be more like? The Epstein flight log.
Shut up. That was my first thought, but I didn't want to make that joke.
I had to.
Yeah, no, we're done with this.
Okay. I think we're done with all of it. I think we've got a fucking podcast on your hands.
Close this out.
Yeah, that's it. Episode 4, Braint Frot in the books.
I'm Lex.
What a fun one. I'm Lavender. And we didn't know where this podcast was going to go. So normally I would tell you what we were going to do next, but
I think next we're going to talk about...
don't fucking know.
We're going to talk about like trans musicians we like at some point.
You know what would be our next one? We do kind of eventually have to live up to the like trans media part of the podcast.
Yeah.
All we've really done is talk about sex and drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You want to go ahead and put that on record? Make that promise?
Is that going to be after you've had concerts that you want to go to?
Yeah, after Aisha, after Jane Remover. I will have plenty of fucking trans artists to talk about.
Okay.
The next episode of Braint Frot, episode 5, we're going to try not to talk about sex and horny shit the entire time. We're going to talk about some of the amazing trans musicians and artists that we've seen in the past, like, 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Cool.
Mwah.
Bye.